What's up, people, and welcome back to the channel. Okay, I recently just got back from the regionals that happened here in LA. I saw a lot of, I mean, I had fun. I didn't make it as far as I wanted to. I lost lost to a combination of evenly matched and imperm, and then branded expulsion, and another one. Also played a lot of purely. Played three purely in a row, and I guess it just gave me like a cool look on. I guess it gave me a new appreciation for this ban list that just came out because it's like, man, I'm glad I don't have to deal with a lot of this stuff that's coming out. But with that being said, kind of putting all that together, there is something else that's also affecting the market besides the current ban list, and there is the new release of Wild Survivors. So with that, I kind of want to talk about some of these dinosaur cards. So if you like what we do here, please feel free to like and subscribe. If not, it's all cool. Let's not take too long. Let's go ahead and get into this. Soul Eating Overraptor. This is the structure deck one. I believe it's the super rare, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this is super rare from the structure deck, and you got like some damage on limbs, and you got damage first edition. But like the near mints are like 121, 122. So like if you want the super rare version, you're still paying about a dollar, dollar 40, dollar 50 for this card. This card does have a lot of other budget versions. It has like the rare, and then it has a premium gold version you get here for about 60 cents. This one for about 13 or 69 cents. But yeah, if you want the super one, it's about about like $1 to $2 range depending. The miscellaneousaurus. So the gold rare, I wasn't. I was actually kind of surprised. I'm gonna go check in my bulk if I have some of these. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, but miscellaneousaurus, the gold rare, is pretty much up right here. You got likely Furtish from 170, pretty much like 170. So we got like 170 to like the kind of on the $2 range. If you're adding the shipping, it's about 286. So you got like the $2 to $3 range depending on how you're pricing this card. I was wondering why is this so expensive, but then I realized uh it's the only hollow printing. For some reason I thought there was a ultra rare copy of Miscellaneousaurus, but I guess there's not. The only hollow version is a premium gold rare. So if you want that, it is around the $2 to $3 range. All the commons though are like a quarter, 25 cents to 40 cents. So like I said, you'll probably find these in your bulk, but if you want a hollow version, if you don't got it, they're about $2. Amenodorn Archosaur. This is a card that I kind of that a long time ago I started to pick up the ultra rare versions, and I sold them when they're at the $3 range. And it looks like, and like they got a reprint of Wild Survivor, so the ultra rares did tank. But the secret rares, it seems like they're still holding. Like they just kind of start a plateau. So you got them rising, so you can get near mints for about 14.95, 14.98. So you get like near mint first is about $15. But the ultra version, they those ones went down. They were about three. It looks like you get them for about $1.72. Then the rares you get them for about 5 cents. So you do have budget versions for this card, so it isn't as I was kind of there. There's times where you kind of have to make predictions, and I had a bunch of copies of this card, and I decided to sell them at the $3 mark because I figured they would get reprinted, and I just happened to make the right call this time. You don't always make the right call, but it looks like, yeah, it looks like these kind of fell. They're about 280, and they fell all the way down to about to the 169 mark. So yeah, if you have these ultra, I guess they're still like a dollar, so you can still get some value for it. But if not, then yeah, missed out on that mark. Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. So I was kind of thinking that maybe this. I was thinking that like this was gonna be a little more expensive, but it looks like you get these right here. Like you got a lot of mod plays for $1, but like light play unlimited for like 125. So you get like the $1 to $2 range for this card. But then I kind of went off to look at how many versions of the card exist, and it does have a premium gold version. So you have like the ultra rare, which I guess is kind of holding the $1 to $2 range, but then you got the premium gold that's kind of keeping it down. So I forgot that it came in premium gold. I thought this would be like a $3 to $5 card, but also like still keep in mind that like if you do have these cards, these are worth like a little something. So keep that in mind. These are all pretty much just coming off of the deck that came out in Wild Survivors. I'm really I'm not good with names sometimes because I have so many things that go into my head. I can't remember the name of the deck, but it is a dinosaur based deck, and it does obviously use a regular dinosaur engine. So these are all cards that I kind of figured would be going up a little more, but they kind of just didn't pan out. the way that I thought they were. But we'll see right now, because come Monday, which is going to be the day that this video comes out, the new meta is going to be here. So we're going to start getting some results of the tournaments, and then we'll see how it goes. We'll get our first official regionals results. So like we'll see how everything goes. So kind of keep an eye on this. This is something you don't have or don't want. I get it now before it potentially might goes up. All right, Sprite Blue. So Sprite seems like going into the next format is going to be the best deck. Like I am not like I'm just speaking in general. I'm not saying Sprite is going to be the best deck. I'm just saying a general kind of idea right now is Sprite got a very small hit. Sprite has a lot of different versions. Well, I guess they also got hit with the Gamma, but like there's many different ways to play Sprite. So Sprite kind of looks like a very, very, very good option. You got the Ultimate Rare Blues right here going for 40, and you got the Secret Rares right here. I think these were actually lower. These were actually down here in the 15s, and once the ban list dropped, they went up to like the 20. You got the near mint first heads for 25. So yeah, so like you're pretty much paying $25 for like near mint unlims right here, 25, and then 26 for a first head. So there's a lot of people that are essentially banking on Sprite being like the deck to beat. I can't say for sure, because like we're still gonna have Kashtira is still gonna be a deck. Purely is still going to be a deck. Like those are still going to be there. You also do have like I said, I can't remember the name of the dinosaur deck, but you have that deck coming out of Wild Survivor, and then you got a bunch of different Sprite variants. I think I'm pretty sure Sprite's going to be one of the top decks. I just don't know if it's going to be pure Sprite or if it's going to be a Sprite variant. Like I kind of lean more towards Runic Sprite being like one of the better builds, just because like Runic really didn't get that much of a hit, and it seems like with everything else going down a power level and Runic kind of staying where it's at, and Sprite essentially staying where it's at, putting those two together essentially kind of makes an extremely strong and powerful kind of like double engine. So I think Sprite Runic will be like one of the better builds. So with that, people are responding. Like I said, they are responding in haste. We got that $24 right here. We got Sprite Sprint, which I kind of thought was going to take a way bigger, like just a way bigger leap. These are here at $22, but then now they're kind of going down. I'm actually kind of hoping that in the next week, I did pick up a couple of these at like closer to the $15 mark. So I do hope that these kind of do make a resurgent. If not, then they're just going to slowly start to whittle away. You get them right here for about $12 to $13. So they're not too far down, about $3 down, but like I said, I do expect Sprite to be one of the best decks, so I expect this to potentially be like a $20 to $25 card, depending on how things go, because we shouldn't expect this card to get reprinted until the 10, so we have a good couple months before this card will see any kind of reprint. Gigantic Sprite, same thing. Shouldn't see this card reprinted for another couple of months. It's kind of been like going down, but then like I said, slightly going up with the announcement of the ban list. We got 574, pretty much like all across the board right here. We got about 575. So it's like a $5 to $6 card. If you have extra copies, go ahead and I would say just if you're not gonna play the deck, get rid of it. But if you're thinking that you might potentially play this deck, I would just keep it, because like I said, just Sprite as the engine. Like you don't even necessarily have to run an entire Sprite deck, but just potentially Sprite as an engine could also be good. So you never know what you want to throw that into. And let's see. So another thing is a Sprite Starter. Even though Sprite Starter is still at 2, it's still commanding like a pretty high. I guess a pretty high. Like I mean, it was going for like 12. Like it was going for 12. So like $7 copies is not really like is $7 copies. Obviously is like drastic difference. But the fact that they're actually not like $2 or even $4 a copy, kind of back down to like their kind of like lowest point, means that a lot of people still have faith in this deck. Even with it at 2, you still have 3, like I said, you have 3 blue and 3 jet to search in to like get to this card. So in no way do you not have how to say it, like in no way do you not have multiple different avenues to get to this card. So I'm very like it doesn't make sense that this card is still going to be calling like a $7 price point. That's just kind of how that one's going to go. You got the Sprite Jets, they're kind of like 25 cents. Sprite Reds right here. I would actually, this is something that I want to start picking up. I should have picked up a whole bunch of these. They're kind of right here at $1, kind of going down, down, down. They're right here at 62, 65, 69. So to be honest, I would probably start picking these up. If you get these like 2 for $1 at your locals, I would just go and start picking them up. I wouldn't be surprised if these go to like $3 to $5 cards if Sprite becomes like the deck to beat. And then the last card that I want to talk about is Ultimate Slayer. Ultimate Slayer is it is not only my personal choice, but it's a lot of different people's choices for this next coming up format. There's going to be a lot of singular cards that you want to get rid of that that you don't necessarily want your opponent to be able to that like if your opponent has some kind of Omni Negate and you want to make sure you get rid of that Omni Negate while also getting some type of advantage, especially when you know that a lot of decks are going to be on Barone. A lot of decks are going to have like Zeus. A lot of decks are going to have those Apollosa. So if you know you need, like if you know you like okay, like I need to put a Link in my graveyard, then it kind of doesn't make sense that you could run Ultimate Slayer because like even though theoretically you have to run you could run 2 other bricks for the 2 other cards that you want to kind of like use it for, but it would give you the ability to send your Link to the graveyard to get your potential effect, either start a combo or continue a combo or be able to come back from something. It's like I really see a lot of potential in Ultimate Slayer, and it has started to go up. Last time I talked about it, it was like in the $15 range, and now it is kind of starting to creep up. It is that you get one copy right here for about like 17, maybe like $18. But then once you go over here, they say 18. Yeah, yeah, pretty much 18. The cards are going for $18. It's up about $3 in the last time we talked about it. So if this is something that's been on the back of your mind, like, oh, I'll get it, I'll get it, I'll get it, I would just get it now, especially if you feel like you might need it. If not, just go and wait because it will most likely be in the tens, and when it comes to the 10, it will crash in price. Alright, guys, that's it for the video. Peace out, and I'll catch you in the next one.